The power of storytelling is something that a lot of us can understand. And this story, or ARG, is called Welcome Home, and I've really gotten into it. I'm not a big fan art person, or at least drawing it, for like a multitude of reasons, but for once I actually felt compelled enough to draw a character from a series that I actually enjoy. But before I dive pretty deep into the lore of Welcome Home, I kind of want to talk about what an ARG is for those who don't know. So, in general, an ARG, or alternate reality game, some say augmented reality game, is a type of game that overlays digital objects and other elements over the real world using like a device's camera, right? And this is going to relate to everything in a second, just give me a second. One of the probably best examples of an ARG would be like Pokemon Go, right? It's a fictional world, but it is brought to life by using the camera and kind of going out into the real world and finding those Pokemon and caring for them like you would in that fictional world. Now, from that understanding of what the ARG is, Welcome Home is more so of an ARG horror. The best way I could describe that is from this definition. So an ARG horror, or just an ARG it states here, is an interactive fictional story, usually horror, and hosted online, that tells itself through a series of puzzles. The creator will scatter hints for viewers to find and interpret throughout the internet or even the real world. This is a concept I find really cool. It's just the fact that you could take a fictional story and make whatever you want of it, but blend it into reality, and all of a sudden it comes to life, right? You have the idea that there's more to the story from the outside perspective of the viewer instead of just looking into the book itself, I guess you could say. That's like the metaphor that I'm using here. But I guess you understand what I'm saying, is like the story is more than just the story itself, because you, the viewer, can discover things about the story that is way deeper than imagined. Now I'm going to get into the story of Welcome Home. I will be putting the link down below to the website, so if you want to open it up and follow along, you totally can. Or if you want to just explore the page on your own, you could do that as well. I feel like it's really fun to just read through it and kind of see for yourself what kind of an ARG this is, and I really like it myself. So upon opening the website, it says Welcome Home, and you're kind of greeted with this character who looks really cool, sitting on a rock with all these beautiful colors and this beautiful illustration, which is why I even took an interest in this ARG in the first place. And it kind of gives you a little quip right under it, and it says, with a hop, skip, and a jump, you are ushered into the colorful, serendipitous world of Welcome Home. It only takes one stroll down the neighborhood to know this is just the nicest little place you've ever seen. Watch Wally and his colorful array of friendly neighbors learn about the vibrant world around them and take part in nonsensical fun. The rest of that page kind of gives you different links for the website, and then it'll take you to wherever you want. Website updates, and on the bottom is this beautiful illustration. I really love this person's art. The creator of this website and this ARG is called Clown, so I will be referring to the creator as Clown. They go by he and they, by the way, so if you would want to reference them for something, then I guess be respectful of their pronouns. On the bottom, their illustrations are incredible. I really love the colors, the art, how just nice this overall looks. It is incredible to me, and it really fits the theme of what the characters are, especially this is supposed to take place in the 70s, and I'll describe that in a second too. But this is giving me very incredible vibes of that time when it comes to cartoons and such. Real life, I heard the 70s is much more brown and muted than we all actually imagine. I think this is more so of a psychedelic 70s kind of thing is that we all refer the 70s to, so yeah. From the intro page, you have all those links. I went ahead and clicked Welcome Home, and it takes you to another page kind of describing what Welcome Home was. So at the top, before the illustration, you have the little text, and it states, critically praised and financially successful, Welcome Home dominated its Saturday morning time slot with its colorful cast of puppets, entertaining and addictive stories, and lively sets unlike anything seen before, surely a spectacle for audiences of all ages. Which is kind of cool, right? Because it puts you in this position that the show really existed, right? That's when you go ahead and scroll down. It says, Welcome Home was an American children's television program created and produced by the Playfellow Workshop, which served as the studio's only production. Supposedly, its first episode aired on October 11th, 1969, and was broadcast onto an unknown channel until its last estimated air date sometime in 1974. Scrolling down, you have this wonderful line art illustration of one of the characters from the set of Welcome Home. From that image before, you could tell that there was a lot of them, and they actually go into detail and describe each character, which again further kind of creates the character into this reality, because you're giving them this description, and you're also working off of the fact that each one has their own domain, almost, and is very much in their own traits and how they existed in that world of Welcome Home. Which brings us to the next paragraph of the page. It says, Welcome Home primarily focused on the neighbors, the show's inhabitants, who were accompanied by a mixture of animated breaks and illustrated storybook segments. The setting itself was a colorful and exaggeratedly designed town named Home, with unique elements like a post office and a bodega, as well as brightly colored creatures that lived within it. Another element that is even cooler is describing how each episode would go, which is in the next paragraph. So it says episodes usually begin with Wally introducing the focus or theme for the day before coming across other characters who would join him on his escapades until the end of the day, which would signify the end of the show. All of the characters had notable reoccurring segments that were sprinkled throughout the entirety of the show's run, such as Eddie Deer creating arts and crafts, Sally Starlet performing plays, or Wally Darling painting a picture with the help of other members of the cast. The viewer was often regarded as an additional neighbor, with Wally speaking to them or on a regular basis. Under that, you have all these incredible illustrations of these characters and just how they kind of existed in the world of Welcome Home and what they would do, or just like what kind of characters they are, and each one is incredible, and you could tell from the effort that this creator clown put in is like immeasurable. It's crazy. Like, they even have at one point a picture of a puppet holding a like storybook, and you could tell that that's like wow, they're really trying to create this reality into existence, because the whole point was that these guys were puppets in this show and that they would do their little segments, and it's insane. It's literally like I can't even wrap my head around it. It's just wow, all the effort that was put into this and the idea and the storytelling is incredible. And then once you scroll through a lot of these images, sometimes you'll find some that are a little bit more off-putting compared to others, right? Like this one of Wally just kind of peeking through the window and it says there he is, but it's like, why you gotta look so creepy for it? So Wally's already a very interesting character from the start, because he's kind of giving off different vibes than everybody else, because we don't really get to see anyone else put into these dark images in comparison, which is really cool, because again, that's an added part of storytelling that's just incredible to me. Finally, we have the last paragraph of the page, which is, Welcome Home is believed to have had a 4-year run upon further research before both its abrupt pull from television in 1974 and complete silence from its entertainment company, the Playfellow Workshop. Welcome Home's success seemed to be set in stone amidst other television programs for its visual artistry, captivating stories, remarkable puppetry, and lively characters. However, all footage is presumably lost, including supposed merchandise, advertisements, vinyl records, and illustrated books depicted in the episodes. However, what has been revealed has driven us to uncover its whereabouts. So far we get the gist of it. This was a show that was running from 69 to 74. It was about like these puppets, and they had their little segments, and they had merchandise, but now we're running into the issue of everything is gone. Right? Everything has gone missing, and we don't know where any of this stuff is. And that's kind of where the Welcome Home restoration project comes in, right? When you click the About Us link in the Welcome Home page, it tells you the Welcome Home Restoration Project is a team of anonymous individuals dedicated to compiling, restoring, and archiving what few remnants of Welcome Home has been uncovered. It is through these collective efforts that we will awaken the memory of this lost piece of media. We strive to establish friendly and open community of friends, family, and fans, just like the colorful and quaint neighbors in our beloved home. It then goes on to say, love is clear in the messages of Wally Darling and is as much of a hallmark to him as his charismatic smile, his teary deposition, and his eagerness to understand the world around him. We too hope to spread this feeling of everlasting joy, caring, understanding, and acceptance to all, in the hopes that you will join us in our thorough exploration. Together we will make this house a home. Visitors may wonder how we came to uncover such a show, where we obtain these works, and the efforts taken to restore them to the best of our ability. To that, we are happy to open our front door to you, neighbor. And that's when they open up this FAQ. This is where the FAQ is really important, because this is where it finally opens up more of those horror elements. Before, we would see some images and they would be a little bit off-putting and be like, that's kind of strange. But now this is kind of giving us a little bit more of a actual hint towards that there's something not right here in the world of Welcome Home. I'll go over the FAQs briefly unless there's something more to kind of dive into, but yeah. The first FAQ is like, who are you, which kind of describes who the restoration project is and that they're kind of anonymous for the reason of protecting themselves, and that they kind of want to focus on getting everyone to know about Welcome Home more than getting everyone to know about themselves. You know what I'm saying? This is where it gets interesting. It says, how did you begin your research into Welcome Home? They say, to be honest, we were drawn in unexpectedly. All the information found on the website was extracted from documents that had been uncovered in brightly covered envelopes. We were thankful to be the first to jumpstart this journey. The thing is, when you highlight the entire paragraph, there's a little bit space after the last sentence, right? So what people would do is they would take that little bit of space and then they would kind of just put it into a, like a search bar just to see what it says, because it's almost like invisible ink, quote unquote. And the words that came up after this paragraph was, but it hurts. That's a little strange. Why would it say, but it hurts? So that's automatically off the bat that there's something wrong here. Why was it written in quote-unquote invisible ink, right? Or like white text that matches the background to where you can't see it. So there's already a very strange element popping up here, the element of surprise. We don't understand where this is coming from, but it's there and it's written unexpectedly, to me almost looking like a cry for help, you could say, where if somebody is on the inside reading it, they can't see it necessarily to their naked eye, but we can because we are looking at it from a different reality perspective. The next question asks, what do the illustrations, writings, and advertisements look like when you receive them? They describe that it's kind of like paper tucked in envelopes and usually covered in paint and ink. So what they do is they take those images, then they recreate them digitally, so this way they can bring those characters to life again and kind of, just continue the restoring of the project. The next FAQ is interesting. It says, why did you make this website? Now, if you're looking at the paragraph, it literally has a text overlaid on top of the paragraph, and it just kind of looks like a jumbled mess. Once highlighted, it says, when I unwrapped the first letter, I felt it, I heard it. Open, open, open. I want it out. I'm going to get it out. Which is strange, right? Why are these texts being overlaid onto paragraphs, kind of like describing a feeling that looks very overwhelming from the outside perspective, that somebody has to get this piece of information out, and it's almost like it's being drilled into their heads that they have to do it. The paragraph then continues to say that the website was made because they wanted to bring this media to attention or to light again, to kind of show everybody who maybe did watch it when they were kids, kind of like be like, hey, here's the show, do you remember it? And they use kind of like this fourth wall thing where the outside world kind of comes in and writes in the guest book saying, yeah, I remember this from when I was a kid, oh my gosh, I love this show. So the element of the outside reality and the fictional world again is combined and is again really cool to see. The next FAQ is, what kind of merchandise do Welcome Home have? And then it says it had vinyl records, children toys, like stuff through magazines and different kind of patterns to make like your own Barnaby. All this media that is just lost to modern time. Next FAQ is, do you know how many episodes of Welcome Home there are? Unfortunately, no. We have yet to receive footage from the show, nor a full catalog of the episodes. We have estimated that the last air date for the show was in 1974, but only because it is the most recent date listed on the script. Again, if you highlight the end of this paragraph and put it into kind of like a search engine, it'll show the invisible ink text, and this time it says, "The numbers are so hard to read, sometimes I can't see them." Strange thing to say without any reference. Are you referencing the number of episodes, or what is it that you can't see? Again, weird things that are going on. Other questions like, do you know who worked at the Playfellow Workshop, or are you a former employee? They kind of answer to, they say no, but they know of some guy named Wardrawsalot who must be the creator, and they're hoping that they can find more. If we are able to join the team, and they say no, they're not accepting new members. And then finally, who's the favorite resident? They state that everybody has their own, but the person writing this says Wally darling. So that is the gist of Welcome Home, right? We have what I read, which was the Welcome Home itself, which is describing the show, to the Welcome Home Restoration Project, which are the people working on restoring Welcome Home because of all the lost media that it had. Along the way, we found little secrets and little things that just don't make sense, and there's a lot more. Obviously, I'm not going to get into all of it because that would be a much longer video, and I don't have the brain capacity right now to do all that. But I really, really, really suggest you look through the website yourself and see the little things that are kind of out of place or are just blatantly wrong or weird, or things that just don't add up. I really suggest looking through the other links like the neighborhood, so you get to see each and every character and where they kind of resided and what their special thing is, or the guest book, which is where you could leave like your own message, and maybe you even get the chance for Wally or to respond, and it would kind of be put into a secret message and code on a different thing. There's just so much to this, and a lot of people have gone and done the research much better than I have. I suggest watching other videos if you want to learn further about this and kind of see where other people discover things or talk deeper about this. I kind of just wanted to show you the gist of it all because I enjoy it, so maybe you'll enjoy it too. I'll also leave like Clown's little snippet on what Welcome Home is for them and any warnings for getting into the fandom, such as some images that might be unsightly and some people might be uncomfortable with. But yeah, I'll leave those links down below and you could just click through it if you'd like. Now, real quick, my drawing. So I obviously did Wally Darling, and I really wanted to do two different illustrations, kind of playing upon both sides of Wally, right? We have that really sweet side who's kind of like this guy who welcomes you home to the neighborhood, and you get to explore that kind of thing with him. And then I did the other side of the drawing, which is kind of a much more creepy, weird looking side of him, kind of looking directly at you and being like, do you want to come home, or would you like to step inside home? So I really wanted to have fun with that, and I really love all the bright, wonderful colors that we have going on here from the original creator and what I kind of adapted into my style. Granted, I kind of did this weird human puppet hybrid thing going on, but I really like it because it's just how I would draw it. Of course, I had to include Home into all of this because Home is actually a character themselves within Welcome Home. So, again, that's why I suggest looking through the website to kind of see all those characters and what their significance is. I really enjoyed drawing this. I love the bright colors. I would love to do more characters from this ARG, and it was just really fun looking at this story from the outside perspective and trying to fit together the puzzle pieces and finding out what's going on. So yeah, thanks for watching, and remember, I love you. Bye!